Hello viewers, and welcome to some more streaming. This time we're going to be preparing for today's round 3 of the FIA Nations Cup races and just doing a bit of practice as I realise I've forgotten my glasses here. Hold on, I will grab my glasses just as I begin my stream. Always a thing I forget, so much to remember. And now we're ready to begin the stream. Typical. As soon as I start, I realise no glasses, can't see what I'm doing. Right, let's get back onto the track. And a fantastic start to the lap there. So a bit of practice, and do say hello on the chat. I'm going to bring up the chat if I can. Oh, I can't do it while I'm driving. Yeah. And it's not working. There we are. Okay, so we've got that going. Hope you've all had a nice Christmas day, enjoying all your new gifts. And some of you with your new racing games and racing wheels and retro stuff. We're still in full Christmas jumper mode, and I'm just cruising here. And just gradually going to learn the way around the circuit. Did some laps the other day, just getting into it. We've got Jeff in the room as well. Hello Jeff. First comment of the day. So today, what are we fancying for our result today? Obviously we've ranked up a little bit, so I'm expecting today to be a sort of top 5 if I can. I don't think we're necessarily going to win, but if we can at least get ourselves into a top 5 finish, then we'll be in good shape basically. Right now I'm just limbering up with some practice. And then after that we'll have a quick break and then we'll prepare for the race and see how we get on. Still trying to figure out the best way to hit those curbs at the moment. There is a way to do it, but I haven't quite figured it out yet in terms of how best to achieve it. Let me just turn down, so we're going to leave that for the moment, just see how we get on with the lap. Traction loss was a bit of a shame there. Needed to lift more mid-corner. Didn't help us at all. And I'm still turning in too early to that corner. You can see that I was getting oversteer. Will the new Dirt Rally support the AccuForce wheel? I have no idea. We'll have to wait until Codemasters put out a full list of all the wheels that are supported, but as soon as they do, it will be on the website. So keep an eye on the teamvv.com website and you'll see all that news coming up as it happens. Kevin's been on it, making sure it's all up to date. No, it's terrible. Again, the point of this practice session is just to learn the gears for the corners and find consistency. It's not always just about being the quickest. We're not going to be the quickest, but we can get into a position where we just go round and round at a reasonable speed and we just don't make silly errors, if you like. Now I've noticed there are other cars that's slightly quicker, but I'm going to stick with the car I know because it's solid, works for me, and does the business. And we're going to enter into the 6 p.m. race. So if you tune in at 6 p.m. Braking too late for the corner. Trying to find some more speed there, but it's not the way to do it. SMB 19, Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Hope you had a nice Christmas. And the Boxing Day today, when many of you should be watching the BFG. We're here watching a bit of racing, watching another BFG. I'm much friendlier. So and now Andrea, you'll have to tell me how to pronounce that phonetically, but thanks for that, really appreciate it. On Facebook there. In fact, do you know what, let's bring up the chat on the screen so you guys can see chat now, and then we'll focus on this next lap. See if we can get some chat going, and then right, I'm going to focus a bit more now. See if we can improve some lap times. Okay, so we need to get into the 152s, 151s at the moment. That's where we need to be. Let's see if we can work this lap now and just add some consistency to our lap times. That's really what we're after today, is consistency. Speed and consistency. Braking too early, so we can brake later there. Too late in the braking again. So we'll learn the braking points gradually. Once we know our braking points, then we'll just memorize those and put it all together. That's why we have a practice session. We just don't go cold into the race, because otherwise I'm just going to be doing that in the race, and then we're just not going to do very well, basically. So we want to try and improve. Let's see what it's like from this roof cam. It's very different from this cam, isn't it? But we'll see what it's like. You get such a wider view of the car from this view. It's fascinating, isn't it? Sitting on the roof. So just trying a different view out for a change, see how we get on with this roof cam view. Could be different for the race. It takes away the feeling of speed, doesn't it, when you're using this view, has to be said. It's weird. I mean, little corners like that takes a little bit of time to adjust to when you've been driving in car, don't they? I really do feel though that if I can adjust myself to this kind of view, that it is an advantage. I mean, you just see so much more, and it's like I watch other YouTubers, and Super GT is a good example who drives from behind the car, and I just think you see so much more of the track. It's got to be an advantage. I just think to myself, you know what, I've got to get with the program. No, got that all wrong, didn't I? And Lido is back. I deleted the other account, by the way, on the forum, so if you re-register, you'll be able to get on there. 2 months to Dirt Rally comes out, seems like so long, it does, but hopefully we'll have a preview soon. I mean, I have no idea when, but one would expect that we'll get some hands-on new tracks, and I'll put it through its paces. I just enjoy it more in car, don't I? I just enjoy the feeling of speed from this view. So I'll probably just stick with this view, even though potentially it's I have no consistency on this course. There's some courses I just get into a groove of, and this is a course for whatever reason that I'm really struggling. I've never liked this end to the lap as well. So we had a penalty on this lap. We're a long way off where we need to be. So we're aiming for the 152s, 151s. Let's see where we get without a penalty. And that's not going to help, is it? So let's look at your comments for a second. How can I follow you in GT Sport? Says Kane. I would say subscribing on YouTube. It's probably the best way to do it, and then when the videos come up you'll see them. It's probably the best way to do it there. That's probably the best place to follow the video content at the moment. I would like to say the website, but unfortunately at the moment we don't have enough writers, so lovely sunset on this track as well. I'm just not getting into the circuit, am I? I'm getting a feel for it tonight. I didn't want to do that. It's quite a helpful marker cone. Okay, let's see if we can just concentrate. How long have we got? Under an hour. Give me a penalty for going over that corner as well. Why doesn't the cone, it would help if they put the cone on the edge of the penalty line in there, really. Oh, that's interesting. So we found a new line through that corner then. We are learning, we've got Mark Tilley in the room as well. About to buy his wheel, would you recommend it? Well, at the moment the best wheels are, for me, this one and Plusmaster you've got the TSXW, which is Xbox, and oh goodness me, I'm still not braking too late. TSXW and TGT wheel. The TGT wheel is amazing on here, but I do like this Fanatic Formula rim. I always have. It's just such a nice rim. I've got to start concentrating, haven't I? I'm all over the shop. All over the shop. Yes, I know. Okay, so now we know that this what's up? Nibble the green bit, but no more. Should have done that in second, but whatever. We're learning the line. Okay, let's see if we can just speed up a bit now. We're a long way off of our laps I tested yesterday. Way too heavy early in the corner. There's still that time. Improving the lap time a bit there in terms of what we have been doing into the 154s. Now we need to find more time to get into the 153s. No, still getting that wrong. How much time I lost on that corner as well. Massive time lost. Way too late with my braking. I've got to just start braking earlier. It's these tyres, they're not quite as grippy. Medium tyres were on. I don't know if there's a pit stop in this race. I have to take a look at somebody else's stream, but I'm just going to go in cold and see if I can have a go. shows how sloppy my lap is, you know, the fact that I've been able to gain on my ghost so easily. Look at that, sloppy laps. I made plenty of mistakes on that lap, still too close to that previous one. So Kane likes the new penalty system. The penalty system works great. And on the whole, I think it works really great so far. I've not had any complaints. I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but I've also seen that when they complain, there's usually a reason why they've got that penalty. So better around there this time. Going to brake a bit earlier this time. Improving. And 153, so we've improved a bit, so it's good improvements. And we've got Wonky as well. Hello there, hello Wonky in the Twitch chat. Just concentrating a bit on the laps. And then I'll catch up with the chat in a moment. See if we can discover some more speed. We've definitely got 152s and 151s in us. But we're not going to catch the top guys who are on a whole different level. SMB will be back at 6, good man. See you at 6 o'clock. That's always good to have slides like that because you're learning all the time just how to control the car. And Mark Tilley's here as well. Hello Mark. He was here earlier, but I'm saying hello again. Just trying to concentrate on this. It's hard to talk and drive sometimes, talk, drive and read when you're trying to learn like this. It's because it's a track I've done a lot of laps on, but every car, every set of tyres, you come here and it's slightly different. So not a good lap that time, but that's fine. We needed a scruffy lap just to get us sorted. But this is good that we're improving our laps, aren't we? You know, if we can get into the 153s, I think we'll be solid in our race. But we just need to be more consistent. better one if we can do this. Okay, so better lap now. Come on, 152s. Okay, so we're improving. We're improving. Let's see how we get there. Yes, 27 viewers now. So building up on a Boxing Day evening, and soon we'll have our race. And you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of a break for a moment. So it's quite a few laps. So let's see. Kane's saying Macau circuit would be great. It would be. That would be a really good addition to Gran Turismo if they could get Macau. I'd also like to see some of the original Gran Turismo circuits make a return as well from the original game, as in all of them. There's some great circuits in the game. And Spike saying 27 watching, only 7 likes. Yeah, we don't get that much love on this channel from subscribers or likes, unfortunately. You know, some people get like hundreds of likes, and we're lucky if 1 in 100 viewers likes our videos. It's crazy, but maybe it's because I'm older. I don't know. Some of the YouTubers that are younger have a younger audience, and they just like everything. Rehydrating. This is hot wearing all this Christmas gear. But I hope you've all had a nice Christmas, and the thing you want is here as well. Merry Christmas to you too. I'm just testing something here. I tell you, Chevy, I wish more people were clicking. Get clicking, people. Get clicking that like button. You know, do support the channel. You know, subscribers, likes. That's what we all need to survive on YouTube. That corner is going to be awful for the tyres, isn't it? Merry Christmas to you too, Chevy. Too wide that time. And isn't it? It's you know, just struggling a little bit of consistency on the circuit. I don't quite know what's causing me the problems. I'm just not. Normally, I sort of have a very set way of doing things. And this track is messing with me. Just need to bring it together. So I've got a faster qualifying time in me. That's a 152. I've got a 151 in me. I've just got to bring it together. That final chicane is very strange. I don't know where the penalty point is on it. So Pranav is asking, when's today's race? Today's race is in 35 minutes. So 6 PM UK time. That's when the race is. This time, but at least we're finding some consistency. That's the main thing. Even if we're going wide in a few of these corners, we're still not terrible. Learning gradually. Pranav says, don't you find the ghost a little annoying? I prefer the line of something else in your face. I agree. I do find the ghost annoying, but it sort of helps me as well. I think my only problem is that the ghost stays visible too close to the actual driver. I could have done with it being a little bit more faded, the opacity of it, if you like. It's just a bit too in your face in a couple of braking areas. So it is a bit off-putting, but at the same time it's also handy visually for you guys to look at. Just gives you, sometimes it helps me because it gives me something to race against, and I'm a better racer than I am qualifier, so qualifying is not my strong point. You'll find that when you watch me doing these videos that my laps are all quite similar. I'm not able to just put in a quick one, and then I find that whatever I do that's relatively quick ends up being what I do every lap. So consistency for me is key in terms of what I'm doing right now. Really using a lot of that final chicane. I'm quite surprised and a little bit disappointed at how much you can use. It's you can really take liberties with it, a bit like watching the cars going around Austria last week, Red Bull Ring. I was actually disappointed with the track limits being used in the way they were. This is where the ghost is quite annoying. It's just a bit too close to my view for me to see the braking point. bad exit through that corner. Not a terrible lap. We're getting into the sort of 53s, 52s. This is really where we need to get for our race pace at least. Damn. Still getting there, aren't we? With slow progress of our improvements, but we are getting there. Slight improvements trying to edge ahead the qualifying, sort of where we are, not full qualifying obviously, that will be when we do the race, but trying to find pace in the car so that we can actually compete. Now there will be people using other types of cars, I'm sure. This one isn't topping the leaderboard, but I like it and I just wanted to run a car I like racing in, basically. So a bit more consistency, and Daniel loves playing this track in Real Racing 3. It's a good racetrack. Obviously they do a lot of testing here. F1 cars will be testing here in probably the end of February. And it is a good test track. So it's smooth. It's got good high speed and mid speed and low speed corners. The only thing I don't like now is the new end to the circuit, which is, as Martin Brundle would say, it's a bit Mickey Mouse. It's a bit of a go-kart track in terms of those final few corners. I accidentally misshifted as the second there, which understeer. Understeer. Caught me out big time there. Messed up that entire section. So Daniel just got Forza Motorsport 7. I think I might need a wheel with it. In all fairness, Daniel, Forza Motorsport 7 is better with a pad than it is with a wheel. It just doesn't handle as well with a wheel. They have done an update for it recently, so I understand it's made improvements, but really couldn't say unless I played it myself. Just sliding the car a bit there, I just wanted to see what would happen. Sometimes in practice I like to just move the car around a bit just to see if there's anything I'm not aware of in terms of recovery, so that it doesn't surprise me too much during the race. So if we get a 154 here, then we're doing all right. See, look at that, got that wrong as well there. Okay, that's good. So we've done a few laps, 22 laps. I'd say that's a decent starting point. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the race shortly. I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to bank that. And I'm going to sign up for the race. Closer to level 30. 30 is nearly achieved, and then we'll be ready for the race. So a good session there. That was a good session of practice, of making constant mistakes, of learning things, and then improving. And race entry will be in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to have a quick break, and then I'm going to come back in a few minutes, and then of course we have the race at 6 p.m. I don't have a be right back sign, so if anybody comes in wondering where I am, I'm just going to say I'll be back in a few minutes. Here we go. I'll just type it in for you guys, and then I can go off, and exit entry period is shortly, and I'll be entering into that race when it's I'm going to wait for that race entry period of 3 minutes, then have a quick break, and then I'll be back refreshed and ready for the race. It's good to do a few laps, get your eye in, and then just have a break just to relax for a minute before you actually do the racing, because the racing is quite intense, because you really got to, when you're racing, you're really thinking about what do I need to do to get into that corner that's just a little bit below the limit, so you're braking a metre earlier, getting the car in, so your lap times are maybe a second slower in the race, but it's not about being quick, it's just about hanging in there, because we don't know how tyre temperatures and tyre wear and fuel are going to go. And I haven't watched any videos of other people doing it yet, so I think it's going to be interesting to see how we get on with no sort of practice. We're literally going to be looking at our fuel and our tyres and deciding in the race, right, we need to pit or we need to stay out. It's going to be an interesting one, I think. And if anyone knows, do you need to pit or not in this race? I'll be very interested to know, actually, because now these races, obviously, for a lot of people, they're a bit more serious. For me personally, I just want to do well and not let myself down. I think that's the main thing with these races, is not to just go into it and fall off the first corner, come in last, when you know I shouldn't have fallen off that corner. I should have concentrated and done it properly. The only thing you can't account for in a race, of course, is all the mayhem going on around you with all the different cars, which is always a lot to take on board. So that's where you just got to keep calm and say, select whether someone is quicker than you or whether you should hold track position. Generally, we'd like to hold track position or make an improvement at the start and then let the race take its course. If you think you can quickly get past somebody, do it. If you think trying to overtake them will slow you both down, that's not going to help, because you're not going to pull away from the guys behind you. So you really want to make sure you build a gap. Pranav is asked, why do I not use a cockpit view? Simple. In this game, you can't move the field of view exactly where you want it and remove the steering wheel. So I'm using a steering wheel on screen. The hands on screen don't always match up with what I have, and it's just incredibly off-putting on this game. They really should have put in there a field of view and a steering wheel removal so I can use the dashboard and dials, but they haven't put it in the game, so it means to use a cockpit cam that's like driving from the back seat for me. Your eyes don't see the bottom of the steering wheel. Your eyes see out the windscreen. Your eyes are looking at the apex, not all this peripheral vision. I want to zoom the screen to the point that my eyes would be looking. So for me, with my wheel, the bumper cam is a much better cam. It has a rear view mirror on it. It's very comfortable to use, and it's a shame that Polyphony haven't put that in the game. Actually, it's a bit of a shame, but they should update it. And I've said this before, because then I could make a more authentic experience. When I play other sims, I remove the steering wheel in game, and you'll see in my videos for old games like Assetto Corsa, I use cockpit cam, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So you have to just work with what you've got, and it's a bit of a shame. Right, I'm going into this race, then I'm going to have a break, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll enter here, and we'll get on with this race with our Lamborghini. It might not be the best car, but let's just see how we get on, basically. Right, I'm going to have a break, and I'll be back in a few moments, and then we'll have back in a few minutes. What have we got? There we go, let's wipe that up. There we are, so sorted. Right, I'll see you guys in just a moment, and then we'll have the race. Hello viewers. Hello viewers. Okay, let's have a little bit of a practice then. So I just found out that you can use soft tyres, and I've been doing all my laps on hard tyres, on medium tyres, and trying to qualify mediums. So for some reason I thought you could only race on the mediums, unless the soft tyres are on there automatically, but I don't think they were. So we'll take a look. Yeah, I've got mediums. I've been... I swear that wasn't lit when I last looked. Right, okay. Right, let's see if we can put in some better laps then. All of our laps have been done on medium tyres. I've got almost no time to put in a better lap, which is a bit of a shame. So all my laps have been done on mediums, and I've only just found out you can actually go on soft, which is a real shame. They're going to find my braking points in time. Let's try and just settle in and see how we get on. Oh, it's completely changed the braking points and everything. Oh, all that work on medium tyres. So we've got 3 minutes to learn the circuit. If we can get round that's ruined any chance we had, hasn't it? Typical. Wow, very frustrating start to the race again. Now we found that information out. For some reason, I swear when I went on it yesterday, I was getting mixed up. It wasn't available. Which is a real shame, because that means we'd have been at least a second or two quicker. What a pain. What a pain. Well, we'll see how we get on. At least we can re-enter if we have to. These tyres are holding on so much better. Like a different car. There we go, viewers. Bit of a bummer for a start, just to be on the wrong tyres. So we'll just see how we get on. And I'm down in 10th place there. So, it's going to be hard work today, I think it's fair to say. But it's a solid B room. So I'm in with equal players, and you can see ranked 10th in this room. So it's all to play for, and I will do my best. But as ever, it all comes down to quali. Let's see if we can just sort this out. And right, done. Okay, let's see how we get on. So let's just move that, and we've got Frank in the room as well. Hello, Frank. And a Merry Christmas to you too as well. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. And I'm doing some racing, a bit of Radio Allen in the evening, a bit of Radio FIA Allen for the action that's going to be upon us shortly. Points wise, you can see there's a competitive range of drivers in the room. Have a little warm up. I've just been practicing for the last couple of days on split out. I've been practicing on the last couple of days. Trading on gifts and ladies and gentlemen, get a wheel. Absolutely, getting a wheel makes all the difference, except if you play Forza Motorsport. And sadly, the controller is still better on Forza. So let's see how I've not played Forza since the update, the Miracle update, but given they've had quite a few updates and none of them have done any good. I mean, Forza 7 was supposed to have had all new wheel handling, and I remember going to E3 and it just wasn't what it should have been. So I think we're going to struggle in this race, but we'll do our best. And we'll see how we get on, viewers. But thanks for the support, thanks for tuning in today, watching the racing, for your comments. For those of you that like the video on YouTube and subscribe, I really appreciate it, and builds what we do and supports what we do, and supports my racing. So I think we can see we're going to be in quite a competitive lobby. I can see that nobody's making any significant errors, so okay, on to qualifying. Good luck, everybody. Cool down, and away we go. Just get comfortable. My cushioning correct. That's it. Come on, let me out. I just want to get out of this pit. There's so many cars, isn't there? It's a bit of a problem when you're trying to get some space. We don't really want to lean too much on the tyres on this out lap either. We'll let this guy by it because he's, look at him, he's all over the place. He's getting all racy, isn't he? That's a bit of a concern when you see someone racing like that, because it potentially means that they're going to be going off. Let's let this guy through. This is not what I want. I've got more traffic behind me. Everybody's sort of hard on it. No one's really thinking about giving themselves space. Here we go then. And Daz is here as well. Thanks Daz. Had a good Christmas. And now I'm just going to concentrate for a minute and see if we can put in some laps. My goodness, look at the state of these guys. Okay, it's not bad. We're second currently. See if we can do a better time now. Damn. Outbreak turn 1 and got penalty. So we'll pit this lap, get a new set of boots. Des, by the way, not Daz, sorry, just catching it out of the corner of my eye. Okay, let's do a bit of lap now, guys. Let's do this. If we can qualify top 10, we know we can get a top 5 finish. Remaining. Enough time to do one lap maybe. Doesn't look like we're going to get a clear track, so we're just going to have to go for it. This is quite a problem here in terms of traffic, isn't it? This guy's cruising in front of us as well, absolutely cruising, so we're going to give him some space for a second. Okay, this is it then, viewers, now or never. Let's hope we get braking point 1 correct. We're going to be quite conservative into this corner. And we've got it wrong. Damn. Damn, it's frustrating. So we'll finish the lap, see where we end up. Second place. No, got a penalty. Oh well. Couldn't help it, couldn't keep it on the track. So that was that. A bit frustrating that I never actually got a proper lap in. But, either way, there we are. I made a mistake when I had the opportunity. Second on the grid. So it's all to play for, isn't it? It's another race where it's all to play for. And it is quite hot here, so I'm sweating now, but we're just going to keep on it and do our bit tonight. We've got 50 viewers now. Hello to the 50 viewers. Lots of lurkers, nobody chatting. Say hello, say hello. You've got a minute to say hello. I'm just going to sort myself out here. I actually have to wait quite a while, aren't we, for the there's a solid effort. Thanks for that. Second place, not a pole position. Banav says let's try to do another Tokyo here. We'll see. I just want to get through the first lap in the top 3, and then we'll see where we are. Liam Nash here as well. Hello, Liam. And Evolutioneer watching, but also in the same race. Oh, good man. What's your game tag? Let's follow your progress. We've got Andy from Dubai. Hello, Andy. Watching a bit of racing here on Boxing Day. A bit of competitive tense. I'm feeling tense tonight. I feel this is going to be quite an intense race. And Designer 23T. Different lobby. Evolutioneer. Well, good luck, Evolutioneer. Good luck. You feel the tension. And you can see it's quite close in those times, isn't it? Wow, look at that. So between me and first place, there's really nothing in it. So we're going to have a tough race today. So today, viewers, is all about consistency. Whoever is consistent on their tyres, and I don't. All my practice has been done on medium tyres, so I literally have been practicing for a whole hour on medium tyres. I've come on here, realised it's soft tyres and the braking points are different, and it's a real pain. I didn't get to put in a good lap because I had a 151 in me easily, 150 even. But there you go. Let's see how we get on. Go. Heroes, round 3 of the FIA Gran Turismo Nations Cup. Again, we return to the grid for another round of racing, like never before, but like before, but different. Nations again, together on the grid in Barcelona for the greatest race you've ever seen on Gran Turismo. Thanks, Pranav. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thanks, Evolutioneer. Good luck to you too in your race. I just want to get through the first lap without any kind of contact or drama. That's my key goal. I don't care about being quick. If I finish in the top 5, I'll be happy today. This is a much tougher grid. Nice paint job. Talking of which, I need a paint job, don't I? Nice new livery. See, there's plenty of cars in the race. All B-level drivers. And these guys here down at the back there, look at that, 19th place. Didn't set a time, of course, so starts on the back. Okay, now it's time for focus. Made a mistake. And it's gone off. That's it. Damn it. Not enough consistency. I wasn't even pushing then as well. I was looking at something on the screen and caught my eye. Should have been concentrating. My tyres have worn out quite a lot more than I was expecting, so I hit some of my brakes and they're just not having it. As you can see how worn they are. I was doing better lap times on the mediums. My front tyre's gone. It's completely lost all grip, hasn't it? It's over. It's over. Tyre's completely gone. I needed to pit. Damn, damn, double damn. I think in hindsight, because I practiced on the medium, I should probably have done the race on the medium. I was doing 52s and 53s, and I've changed to the soft, which is a quicker tyre, but it's completely gone. Look at that, completely warm. Should have changed to the medium. Let's just stick with soft. We've got less fuel in the car, less weight. Very frustrating, isn't it? So now we're in 12th place. So for 12th place, where can we end up? From 2nd to 12th, what a disaster. But at least we can re-enter. We're on lap 6, so we're just going to lean on the tyres now and just see if we can improve. Got nothing to lose, have we, other than just to give it everything. Oh my goodness me. Try and give each other space. Oh. Tyres are just not hanging on for me, and they're not working the way I'd like at all. Give me a little push then. Oh, another disappointing drive today, isn't it? Nothing's really working. The tyres are wearing out terribly. I might have been better on the mediums, but we'll just never know. Certainly got the speed. I just don't have the consistency in tyre wear at the moment. That's the problem. Ah, look at the tyres are just gone. Absolutely gone. I haven't even lasted 4 laps. Oh my god, I'll probably get a penalty for that. Couldn't keep it on the track at all. The tyres are just not having it. Ah, yeah, well, I mean, I thought that with lighter fuel load in the car, if we managed the first 5 laps, the second 5 laps, which should be in theory, it should be easier on the tyres. Softer tyres can go longer with lighter fuel tanks because less weight. But in Gran Turismo, that's not so much the case. So I think if I was to try it again, I would probably be happier on medium tyres on this particular car. You have to remember different cars have different wear rates in terms of tyres. Wow, tyres are really gone. Well, not my finest moment, not able to do lap times that I'm capable of at any point in that entire race. That was a very frustrating race. The tyres literally didn't last for me more than one lap. Ah, that's a bit frustrating. What a frustrating race. They just completely went from me. Everybody's using that Cayman car. It seemed to be quite a bit quicker, didn't it? Cayman GT4 Club Sport. Just seemed to be much better on its tyres. Oh. Well, that was a real learning experience there, I have to say. So disappointing race for us there, wasn't it? I felt, you know, like you say, we had the speed, but we didn't have the tyres. So evolutionary, I finished 6th. Very disappointing. So very frustrating. Very frustrating. We're going to save the replay for future reference. And okay. And we're going to take a look. And we're going to enter into the next one. What is it? Cayman GT4 Club Sport. Let's take a look at that car. Because we don't have it. So next race is in a few minutes. But let's just take a look and see. Because it might be that the Lamborghini just isn't the car for this race. Not a GTR again, but the third GTR today. Oh, it is. This is my third GTR today. How weird. It's just giving me GTRs constantly now. That was a very frustrating race, wasn't it, viewers? Right, let's have a look here and see what car people are using. If it's better on its tyres, then we might as well get it. Cayman GTR Club Sport 16. And we'll use up some of our credits. Yep, as well. And we'll just see what this car is like. Because if we can find a car that's slightly better on its tyres, then because clearly it is, then we can use this. And that's really what we need, is consistency. The big problem with that race was we had no consistency. Every time I hit the brakes, it was doing different things, basically. It was braking at different points, the turning wasn't there, couldn't get on the power. It was just horrible. I might have been better off just doing 2 sets of mediums, but I do want to see what this car is like. So we'll just go to sport for a second. And we're going to just pop into practice and run the race again, but this time we're going to run it on 14 minutes, and let's see how we get on here. Just if not, we're going to run it on the Lamborghini on medium tyres, and we're going to see how we get on there to see if that can help us, because it was the drop off in performance was enormous in that race. It was like 1 minute you had tyres, next minute you had nothing, basically. So let's just see what this handle's like so I can get a feel for it, and then we can enter the next race and try our best to different gearing. That's something to note. Oh, it's much more stable, isn't it? Much more stable. Oh, I cannot drive from inside the car like that. Yeah, I'll have to find these seat moving controls again. I did it before once, a long time ago. And I'll have to find them again. So braking point is slightly different there. Don't know what the gear is for each corner. Rides that curb better as well. Ultimately, I like driving my Lamborghini. Traction control is on. Let's just get out of here for a moment. And what we need to do is exit and upgrade the car. Try again. What do we got? We haven't got long. I'll need a quick break again before the next race. Of course, then we'll do this race at 7 o'clock, and that will be. See how we go after that. I might be a bit tired after that. I've already done quite a lot of laps in practice in the Lamborghini on the wrong tyres. All my practice was on the medium tyres. Completely different power band, so gear changes are completely different. See if we can improve at all here. And that was me thinking I'd done some practice, was going into the race in good shape, and that happened. There's a part of me that would like to do the race in a Lamborghini with medium tyres, but I don't feel that would be competitive, unfortunately. I think it's going to be all about tyre management on a car like this, which is apparently better on its tyres. Okay, so over one lap, it's going to take a bit of practice to max them out. We've got Tanoop in the room as well. Hi Tanoop. Don't know what gear that is. Is it third? Is it second? I just don't know. it's just so different to drive, isn't it, compared to my Lamborghini. The gearing is completely different. I don't even know what gear I'm supposed to be in half the time. Fighting it all the way through there. I thought, just keep your foot down. We'll do one more lap and then we'll enter. One more lap. We're going to do some third here. Third worked. No, that was second. So we're just trying to learn gears before the race. Well, you're probably wondering, why am I suddenly slipping into first gear? It's because I've been practicing in the Lamborghini, and your mind gets set on how many gear changes you do for a corner. And so I'm just doing what I'd normally do. Of course, that's one gear change too many. Okay then, that makes up the decision, doesn't it? Right, let's enter the race. I'll get a quick break and I'll be straight back, viewers, for the race in just a moment. Tanoop's watching from the US. Hello Tanoop, US transmissions. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you had a good Christmas as well, Tanoop, over in the US. Okay, let's get out of here. Pranav would recommend mediums and softs. It's difficult to say, isn't it? I think, do you have to start the race on the tyres you qualify on? Does anyone know that? Does anyone know, do you have to start the race on the tyres you qualify on? Let me know. Let me know. Right, I'll be straight back, viewers. Give me a minute. Okay, viewers, I'm back. Now, it has been put to me that there should be a drinking game, Tim, by anyone every time I mention tyres. I think that's a perfect idea. So if you've got a drink, every time I mention tyres, have a drink. You won't last the evening. It's funny, tyres are a funny thing because if they don't affect your race, you just get on with it. But when they suddenly let go unexpectedly, that's when you end up with. Okay, let's see if we can. We've learned some gears, haven't we? I mean, wow, my races are so unprepared. I just want to be prepared. All right then, we're in it to win it now. There's action on the grid. Johnny the Destroyer is in first place from Spain. Johnny the Destroyer. Wow, that's a username, isn't it? So can we survive the Destroyer? Let's check everything here. Okay, we are going to start the race on the soft tyres, and then we're going to see how we progress in terms of if we wear heavily, we don't get to lap 5, then we'll go to the mediums. But if we feel we can make it, we'll get to that half race distance. So let's leave the pits. I do like the detail on the pit lane in here. I know the guys aren't moving, but it's nice. I think the pit stops are pretty cool as well. The funny thing about tyres is when you're aware of how they wear, you can cater for it. But in this game, of course, they're wearing at 10 times the normal rate. So this guy's quite quick behind us, isn't he? And we'll get on with it. So we'll see whether we can put in a lap of qualifying. Again, this will be quite tricky. We need to find a bit of space in the traffic and see if we can remember our gears. I'm still not entirely clear on them in my head. It takes quite a while to zone it all in. So trying to not use up the tyres on the way to the lap. At the same time, we do want to get a bit of space, and we won't want any more people overtaking us now. Not the way to start a qualifying lap, but there you go. Right, see how we get on. I've changed my brake bias a bit more forward, see if that helps or not. So this guy stays out of the way. Doesn't look like he's going to. Oh, he is. Brilliant. Can give us a 154. 153, that will do. Got a banker in now. Tyres, look at the tyre weight, it's nothing compared to the other car. This is amazing. See the fall off on the tyres there. It's fine though. We'll put at the end of this lap and get a new set of qualifiers on, and then we'll be ready to see how we go. Where are we? Third place at the moment. That's acceptable. That was with messing up the final corner as well. So. Do you know what? We're going to let him go. This guy's a little bit all over the place. I'm just a bit concerned with what he's doing, so don't know where he's even gone. Let's go soft. Okay, slightly lighter car. Let's get a pit stop done. See how we get on our second run. A little bit of confusion on the way to the pits there. Let this guy by. He wants to go flat out. if I want to let this guy by though. This guy in front who I've let by, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be. He seems to be all over the road. I'm just going to go off and let this guy by. Go on. How long have we got? 2 minutes. Okay, let's get a move on. I think everyone else is going to get an extra lap in because I've been so slow getting back. Oh well. It's 1 lap time for me. If I'd been quicker I could have got 1 extra qualifying lap in, but we live and learn, don't we, in terms of how to third place. See if we can do it now. This is where you hear Murray Walker in your ear and you hope you don't get turn 1 braking completely wrong. Cars to overtake in front. It's very difficult when you've got cars in front to maximise your lap because it's all a bit unpredictable. I improved my time slightly, but not enough to compete with the top 2. 3rd place on the grid though. It's not bad given that we hadn't driven this car until 10 minutes ago. Andy Chung is watching as well, saying look after the tyres. Yes, tyres. Pranav doesn't think the tyres will survive 5 laps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the race, and if I think I'm going to keep a very close eye on the tyres, and if I see them wearing, I'm going to switch to mediums in the pit stop. That's the only thing I can do, unfortunately. I think what you've got to remember is a lot of these guys that you're racing against have done tons of races. They know what car to be in. They've probably watched other streamers. So you know, I'm discovering it for the first time, but I'm learning quickly. So last race I had high wear. It just meant you have to brake earlier and everything else really, turn in earlier because of the understeer. So look at those, look at the top 3. First place, it's gone, isn't he? He's on a, well, I say gone, I mean we sort of managed a lap like that a minute ago, didn't we? So it's not impossible, but remember, it's all about consistency, not 1 lap speed. So let's concentrate on the race and see how we get on. droning on, isn't it? Right. Of course, there's no music in the game. I had to turn the music off because it kept getting copyright issues on YouTube, which is such a pain. I quite like my standard Gran Turismo jazz, but unfortunately they've mixed it with licensed music. Evolution, I can start on mediums. Okay, shall we just do this? Shall we try mediums? Shall we look at the mediums? We'll go mediums then, and that will decide our race basically. Can't see what everyone else is doing, can we? We'll go mediums then. People are saying mediums, and we'll just see how we get on. I have no idea, so let's see how we get on. The wear on these tyres though was not as high as it was on the Lamborghini, so well, whatever, I've done mediums now, haven't I? So let's wait and see. I don't think I'm going to win it anyway. I think it's just a case of hanging in there. I don't have enough practice. I did like 40 laps in the Lamborghini on medium tyres, and then came on the race and found out you could do soft tyres about 5 o'clock today. I was like, oh, I've done 40 laps on the wrong tyres in the wrong car. So we've had 10 minutes in this car on soft tyres, never on a medium tyre. So to stop everybody going on about medium, we might as well try some medium. There's a streamer safe option in the option music menu. Okay, right. Thanks for that, David. I'll take a look. Because I've turned off all the music now because it's a real pain when you stream for 3 hours and then they copyright it. And they copyrighted 2 minutes of music and they wouldn't cut that music out. It's like, so I have no idea where the braking point is. So I'm going to brake 2 meters before where I normally brake and hope for the best. If we manage to maintain third after the first lap, I will be pleased. Oh, it's such a close grid, isn't it? Does it says that's an ugly trophy? It sure is. It's not very. I don't like it either. Actually, it's a bit knobbly, isn't it? So let's see what we can land. We'll know by the end of the second lap whether these tyres are a total mistake. But what it does mean is that we just go a lap longer in the race. So we just have fresh softs right to the end and hope for the best, and then I'll have to overtake some people. We're going to keep it as 0 brake balance, just to maybe we'll just go 1. I don't know where we shift or anything, so I'm going to have to react quickly. Okay, so there's not as much grip in this tyre at all, but we just have to hang in there. Terrible corner. That's where you notice the grip as well and direction change. This guy's done me. Let's let him past. I was expecting to be a lot further ahead than that, that's why I let him pass. If I'd known he was just going to be crawling, I'd have blocked the corner, but there you go. Damn it. Wrong gear. I thought I was in second, I was in third. Concentration, I tell you. Just 2 seconds then. See how that goes then to the end. So where are we? Third. And we came out where we started. His tyres will be 1 lap more worn at the end, so who knows if we'll have a chance to get second. Damn it, hit that curb wrong. Such a tricky curb. It's giving him a nice bit of breathing room now. That could have been my chance gone there. I think that's it. I think that mistake has cost me. But, at least there's a 12-second gap back to third, so podium finishes on the cards then. We just don't crash. We're a bit too far behind him to make up that kind of ground, I think, now. Doesn't mean we give up. Come on, give me the toe. Fernando Alonso, move. Come on, do it. Damn, he's on the inside. That's a shame. Braking as late as they could. Tyres are going. Done. Well, that was concentration, viewers. I made a mistake there. I let that guy by early on, thinking that he was going to blow me, and he didn't. I thought he was going to blow past at high speed, and then he just sort of sat there, didn't he? And it put a barrier between us and first. But I'm pleased with that run. The medium tyres was a good strategy. I think it's better to be racy in the last half of the race, but the problem we get to that point, everybody's tyres are worn. But I'm very pleased with that. Second place, 2 wins and a second. That's a very high concentration room, and the guy in first place there was very quick. Good, better than 6th place. Right, results confirmed. 2nd place, not bad, not bad. On the podium, pleased with my drive there. Pleased with my drive. More points on the board, and that's a good result. 2nd place. Those races are quite pressurised. Make one mistake, as you can see, and you know you'll be way back. Good credits as well. Needed that. Need some cash, some moolah to have to buy the car. So nearly up to level 31. Just for interest. Just because I want to see that overtake. Lovely. Yes, please. Yeah. That was a good race. I can't type on the wheel. It's just impossible. Good clean racing that was. And you know, the guy could have taken me out. I mean, he could have lunged me, but I broke as late as I could. And I feel quite relieved. Concentration. How's the old drinking game going for you guys? I don't know how many times I've mentioned tyres, but I just want to see the round the corner overtake. Let's look at replays and see what we have. Oh, somebody mentioned as well the playlist. Starfix is asking, why GTS over iRacing, Alan? You just miscompare racing over there. One reason is the cost. I don't have an iRacing, membership, and I haven't got the money for iRacing right now, literally. The other thing was, when I drove iRacing, I found it was very serious. I did several races. I got taken out in almost every one. And then some people knew how to teleport back to the pits, and I didn't know what button. So all of my races were basically ruined. People would say to me, "Oh, you've got to press this button to teleport back to the pits." So that's teleporting to the pits. Where's the sim race in that? And in the end, I got taken out by somebody, and then I got a load of rubbish from sim racers that it was my fault. And I just said, "You know what? This isn't fun. I'm not going to play it anymore. It's just not fun to me." And I think as long, at least here, I've not had any contact. I've not had any bad racing. I've had, for me, 10 times the races on here that I had on iRacing. It was just it was really sort of, you know, sort of that moody level of sim racing, and I just didn't like it. So I've come on here now, and all these people I don't know, they're not A class, they're B class racers, and they're all racing very sensibly. Look at that. I mean, admittedly that guy was a bit of a dive bomber in second place, but he never actually crashed into anyone, so that's great. But yeah, I think with iRacing, it might be good when you get into the top classes, the top echelons, but also it forced me to drive cars I didn't want to drive and all that sort of stuff. I just wanted to drive like Formula 3 type cars and open wheel races and stuff like that. And I had to go through all stuff, and I just said, you know what, it's just no fun to me. I think the big problem with something like this is you can't just jump on iRacing and do some laps. You know, you've got to pound and pound and pound. Like I have been on this, I've been putting in a few more laps to try and be competitive rather than just knocking around the back. And that's what I want to do. I want to just play something and get into it. So I've worked my way up to B class on here, and hopefully in the next month or so I'll work my way up to A class, and then it means that my races will be a lot more competitive, and also I'll be learning a lot from the top racers. I'll be looking at the lines they take and looking at the decisions they make throughout the race and knocking off seconds out of it, you know. So how do the points work on the Nations Cup? Well, unfortunately, even if I won every single race, I wouldn't have a chance of getting anywhere, because the points are awarded based on the talent in the room. So at the moment I'm racing guys who aren't as top level, so my points I receive are not as high. I think that if you keep racing and you rank up to A and A plus, then when you're beating A plus drivers, you know, and that guy in the lead there, he'll be up there in no time, you know, in terms of his speed. But then he may be practicing this track. I mean, if I've been practicing on this track and the right tyres and the right car, I might have been a bit quicker. But you know, there were times when I was scrambling for a gear, thinking, is it third, is it second? I just don't know. Last on the FIA race 2 in the KTM Crossbow, I was using the wrong gear. It turns out, like 4 times a lap. So I was shifting too far down, and then when you change gear and clutch engages, there's a fall off, and you know, there's not a seamless gearbox on that car, and so of course I was losing a second a lap just through being in the wrong gear. So you need to know these little details in terms of how important being in the right gear is. I was quite lucky to get away with that. You know, I was using all the curb by accident there. Just talking about VR for the moment. I mean, I'm a big fan of VR. I think VR is great, but it's not there yet for the general public in terms of resolution. There's a lot of people who put on VR and they'll play it and they'll just say it looks rubbish to me because it's just pixely and stuff like that. I think that when we get the 4K per eye, I think with, you know, high detail, I think you'll see in high resolutions, and, you know, high anti-aliasing, I think you'll start to see things improve. But even 4K per eye is still going to look very pixelated right next to your eye. What they really need is an 8K screen with, I forget what they call it now, but it's where it focuses on your eyes, renders in high resolution the bit where you're actually looking, and then that way you won't see the pixels, even if you're rendering a 4K image onto that screen. So that could be the way forward. So I think VR is, I mean, I don't think VR is a gimmick. I think VR is the future. I love VR. It is the future. It's not the present in that sense. You know, it's not profitable yet. It's expensive to get into. It's a pain to wire up. On my PC, for example, I have to completely disconnect VR to set up my triple screens. It won't function properly with the VR attached for whatever reason. So or whether that's just that I don't have enough HDMI ports. But the reality is that, you know, I'm in this position where setting up VR is a bit of a pain when you're move slightly. There we are. Move slightly. VR's a bit of a pain. Bring you down a bit. There we are. VR's a bit of a pain to set up on my system, but I think in terms of market, I think in racing games, I mean, for me, I would love to see VR in Formula One. For me, I'm a big Formula One fan, so I'd love to see VR. In fact, if you're watching the channel, I'm going to start doing my career soon in January. I've always been trying to work out when to do the career in F1, and I think January will be a good time for me to get started. I'm just deciding which format to do it on as well. And I think what's great, you know, doing this is just getting into that competitive mindset of racing, in terms of, you know, that focus there. But Gran Turismo, we've got lots of chat there. I mean, PlayStation 5, will it have VR? Well, one would hope that PlayStation 5 is much improved. There's no reason why a system of whatever level is not going to have VR. But it depends what market they go for. I would like to see a more expensive console. You know, when you buy a television, you can buy a £300 4K television, or you can buy a £1,500 4K television, so on. I think consoles, they need a console of about £600 or £700 that lasts, that's got it. You know, like PS4 Pro. Why not just release the Pro and the normal for those who want it? And I think with the VR headset, it would be interesting if they could release with a second CPU, so there was one CPU powering each eye, and that way essentially you've got two PS5s, but it would make the, you know, if you don't want to buy that box, then you have a lower quality experience. But I think for console players it's really important, and you know, we'll see what they do. I mean, going into VR is a whole world of development in there, but you need to have millions of people with VR headsets to make it worthwhile to spend millions of pounds on games. If you spend a lot of money on a VR game and it doesn't sell, you know, you're really in big trouble. You know, at least if you make a stinker of a game, you can give it away free on PlayStation Plus, and hopefully people will download it and then buy the DLC. You know, that's another way to look at it. You know, I mean, I'm surprised that Xbox isn't compatible with. I'm surprised Xbox isn't compatible with a VR headset. You know, it does surprise me. So I just adjust the sound levels here for you guys. My mouse is not working properly. Let's have a look at that. So just reduce that just a little bit. There we are. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see what happens in the world of VR. I'm going to do a bit more racing actually, but I hope you've enjoyed the racing so far. It's been good to improve my performance in that race, get my points, and that'll move me up the leaderboard, which is nice. And hopefully, I think when I see my rankings at some point, I'll have ranked up a little bit more on B, but there's still a long way to go. I've got to win something, quite a few more races before I get to A. Frank wants VR for everybody. Well, if you watch the channel and you take a look at Team VVV HTC Vive, I mean, I've done quite a bit on the Vive in the past. I've been, you know, I play on the HTC Vive now and again in the summer, and you know, I was playing a lot of Beat Saber, really enjoying Beat Saber. I even tried setting up the green screen, but I don't know, they made it out, it was quite easy to set up the green screen, and it turned out to be really complicated, and I couldn't get it working properly in the space I had, unfortunately. But it is pretty darn cool when you see mixed reality, and mixed reality is really to show the scale. And I think one of the things about VR that's amazing is the scale. You know, when you walk into a room in a game, it's just a room on a screen, but when you're there in real life, you're looking around, you can almost touch it, and it's a big environment, you know. And you know, it improves your experience. If you drive with VR, likely you'll be quicker. Sorry, if you drive goodwill on the screen, likely you'll be quicker. Complimentary VV underwear, not yet. It's something we did consider a cut-out standee of me with a microphone. I think that's really what you want in the corner. Full height, 2 metres, cut out standard, halo wheels. That's what everybody should have in their home. So that was during the pit stop, wasn't it there? So, as I say, it was competitive, wasn't it? I mean, that was a really, really competitive race. I just want to see... well, yes, togas. It's possible we can prepare a toga, you know, a VVV toga. I think that would be ideal, wouldn't it? You know? Sticking with the Roman theme, obviously. Talking of which, I am going to see if there's any painters on the GT Planet forum who are good painters, basically. I don't know who the good guys are at painting, but I'm going to see if there's anyone there who can paint me a livery on a few cars. That'd be great to get a bit of support there as well. Sound Shower's just saying VVV toaster. That would be interesting, as long as it prints a VVV on there, just to give it that special edge. It embosses it. You need something bigger than Roman, don't you? Authentic, a bit of authentic. Triples are great. I mean, obviously I use triples. I mean, if I show you guys, if I just take you guys off there for a minute and just show you if I can, I'm just going to show you my screen. So this is what we see in front of me here. So you can see the action. On one side we have the software, and then on the other side we have your chat. So, and then we have a lamp here with a couple of boxes in the way to stop the reflection on the screen. I used to race with a bright light in the screen, but obviously now it's a bit easier now. I block it with that nice big box of Velcro. Really a state of the art. So there we are. Is your view as I see it. And there we have it. So move you guys back on there. And then we see the pit stop. And working to that overtake. It's nice to have a little break after that, actually. It's quite intense, isn't it? So VR is great. I love VR. It's all got a bit crazy on the dirt rally videos, I think, at the moment. I think they know people want VR. But it's not doing any good. Everybody just saying, let's put 100 comments on every video. That doesn't help anyone, really. Frank likes Team VV. Well, that's why we do all kinds of racing games on Team VV, Frank. I mean, we do. If you look at the channel and what we do, we have you know, everything from Mario Kart to iRacing to whatever on the channel. We try to do everything we can. In fact, we don't do much sim racing purely because we haven't been able to find anyone from the sim racing community willing to do that content for us, because I'm only one guy. I can't cover every game. So if there's anyone out there, and also just a big thank you to all of those of you who have liked the video but also subscribed on YouTube in particular. It's a big help. We don't get many subscribers on the channel, so it's a really big help to get people subscribing and hopefully become members and donators eventually as well, once we get to that sort of stage of growth. Well, game audio is a little loud. We'll just drop that down. Okay. And we'll just increase that as well. So hopefully that's a bit better for you guys now. And yeah, that's there. So that should have balanced the audio a little bit more for you guys as I gain here. So it was an interesting race, wasn't it, in terms of tyres. We really had to just be patient until the fall off of tyres at the end, and then it all came together. But oh look, he got a bit of grass there, didn't he? So a bit of grass down the main straight, weaving a little bit around. So that sometimes happens when you're looking at other things, or he might have been changing some settings on his car. I think it's a shame in this race that there's no fuel in there as well. It would have been nice if there was a fuel allowance or something like that to work with. If you're watching, do say hello as well. 70 viewers. We're going to go into some more racing. We're going to try another race. but not on FIA. We're going to do a little bit of something else now. I think I'm satisfied with that. That's about as much as I can get today. So I'm satisfied with that. I don't think I could have got. I made a couple of mistakes, but I don't think I was going to catch first place without quite a lot more practice. So is that better now, guys? You can all hear me better now. The actual replays are louder than the actual in-game. That's the tricky thing about Gran Turismo. So I just want to see my Alonso round the outside move. That's my Fernando moment. Talking of sim racers, I hear now that Stoffel Van Dorn is now testing for Mercedes. What do you guys think of that? I think it's an interesting signing. It'd be interesting to see how good Stoffel is in the sim, actually. His results in F1 weren't really stellar, to say the least. And it's funny, Stoffel, because some drivers, they go into F1 like Jolyon Palmer, and they get slated constantly, and yet some others like Stoffel seem to they get defended in some way, even though their results are not where they should be. And I think that's a bit odd, really, and why there's positivity for one driver and not the other. This is where I make a mistake, don't I? And I give him a bit of space and then close up on him again. So you can see there, closing up gradually. It looks a lot closer here, doesn't it, than it felt in the car. You're crawling round though, you're trying not to damage your tyres and being really progressive on the exits. So this corner I struggled a lot with though. I didn't have a line through this corner in this car. I felt much more comfortable in the Lamborghini going around here. I'd like to have done this race in the Lamborghini actually, just to have seen where I would have ended up, because I was definitely quicker in the Lamborghini on medium tyres than I was but that was without fuel, of course. Fuel makes a huge difference once you put that into the car. That long corner towards the end of the lap. I always remember, who was it? It was I remember Michael and Ralph boxing somebody off round there once. Taking a lot of curb there. I didn't really want that much curb, but managed to keep it together. And so here we go then. This is it. This is the action moment I just wanted to see. Relive my fun moment in the race. Let's see just how we get on here. So we're both braking quite late, given our level of grip. I'm very close to him now, and I can see I've got good drive around the outside, but not managing it this time. No, around the outside, just keeping it, using the grip in the tyres. Look at that, brilliant action there. This is like Lewis and Nico and everything else. Action, braking super late, almost losing it into the corner. You can see, he doesn't have any more grip either. So that was great racing. Look at that. We could have taken each other out then, but and then I broke really late into that corner as well. Compromised myself a bit, but I knew that he couldn't overtake me here, and he had a penalty. So I was confident now that we just had to be sensible now. Oh, that's good. It's good action. He was very fair. No, he was very fair. I mean, I let him through earlier in the race, to be fair. I was quite fair as well. But he did have a penalty. So there's his penalty there taking. And it's not much, but it's enough to knock off 5 miles an hour. And, that just gives me the breathing space I need to keep ahead. Now, I wasn't pushing in these last few corners. I was really sort of saying, let's just protect the tyres. I know he doesn't have much grip either, so I don't think he's going to go crazy. But you can lose a race in the last few corners. You can't win it in that sense. and yeah, that was great. That was great. That was a good result there. And LTR30 says it's getting network errors. I've never heard that. No, well, it's disappointing to hear that that you're getting network errors there. Howdy, James. There, Bottas is a hands down better driver than Stoffel. Absolutely. My issue with Stoffel wasn't that Alonso did better. It was to do with the body language of the car. And when you give a car to a driver, if you look at it, you can see how they're leaning on the car. Okay, you can really see the body language. You can see how they commit to the corners. You can see the tyres leaning, really forcing the car, really giving it everything. You can see by the way a driver drives whether they're confident or not. So if you were looking at me in this race, there was no confidence. I was tiptoeing round, wasn't flat out at all really, not comfortable with the car, nothing. Once you're comfortable, you know you find more speed, you find more, the limit is there, and then the limit is there, the limit moves. With Alonso, he's moving the wheel, his limit is everywhere, he can move that car, he has total control on it. With Stoffel, you feel he's not finding that limit, the car wasn't talking to him, and he wasn't able to get what he wanted out of it. And you say, well, is that the car? Well, yeah, it wasn't a great car, but Fernando still got 50 odd points out of it, so it wasn't a terrible car either. It was getting reasonable qualifying. It wasn't back of the grid. It wasn't a Williams. That was a bad car this year. So he had a couple of years, and that's Formula One for you. I mean, he had longer than I would have given him if I was in a team, because I just want results straight away. You don't hire drivers in Formula One to train them. You hire them because they're good, and you hire them to win. And if they don't win, that's not your problem, because it costs millions of pounds to run these cars. That's what they're hiring, the best. You want the best, not, oh, he could be better if we gave him a better car, or he could be better with another 2 or 3 years practice. No, that's go to another team that wants to spend money on you and waste it as you learn, and come back again and increase your value. So I mean, some drivers have gone to America and they've developed themselves there, and some drivers have always been better in IndyCar than they have in Formula One. I mean, if we take a look at the driver who lost his legs, and what's his name? His name's gone, and I saw him at the Olympics a few years ago. Alex Zanardi. If you see Alex Zanardi, stellar in IndyCar, but when he came back to Formula One, he wasn't really getting great results. He got a good result in Monza, but other than that, it wasn't really happening for him at Williams. So there are drivers that don't adapt. I think Ralph Furman, if anybody remembers Ralph Furman, the way he was driving was like that. Even Felipe Massa was like that on every corner when he first came back to Formula One. So James could see Stoffel and Weck. I could see Stoffel and Weck, absolutely. And you do. Starfox is saying when you bring money to the team, you keep your seat twice as long. You do. And that's a problem with Formula One, because I think Formula One, yes, there's always been money in it, but the top teams, you want them, McLaren shouldn't be looking for money. They should be able to, and that's it. Not many bonuses now. I mean, I used to come to this screen and there'd be loads on here. So it's slow now in terms of, let's look at the music selection and just see if there's any option for sound. We had a mention earlier from somebody that we can, I see, wow, okay. What options do we have? It's fine. No. Somebody mentioned there was a playlist, so if there is, here we are, transmission mode. Okay, so let's try that then. So let's try that. And we'll see if that works. That's a nice shiny car. And let's go in here, sport mode. I do just want to have some more relaxing races now on these tracks. Until entry deadline. Let's just do it with no practice. Oh, hang on. I'm having the same problem you guys are having. Oh. 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 Right then. No. So, well, unfortunately, viewers, it looks like that's it for, it looks like that's it for this, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm not certain it's signed me out, so it is just network services. So the problem I just saw from LTR 30 or later 30 is happening to me as well. So that's a bit of a problem. Just a quick one on Formula 1 for a second, just before I sign off. I will do a bit of practice on Formula 1 in the coming days. I say coming days, in a week or so. Well, it's a bit of a shame. I was looking forward to doing some more Gran Turismo races. We'll see if they sort that out, or if it's a big network problem. That's going to create fury for a lot of racers out there. James says, over the last 5 years, I've seen quite a few pay-to-drive drivers in Formula 1. There have always been pay-to-drive drivers in Formula 1. It's just that when you had 24, 26 cars, you had 15 top drivers. Okay, what's happened is the grid's got smaller. Instead of what's happened is you've lost those. I just want to quickly have a few laps. No physical copy of Formula 1. No, just the digital copy. A lot of these copies we get supplied for review purposes, and they don't supply physical copies to journalists. So we get these digital copies often. Well, I say sometimes you get them before release, but I don't receive my F1 now until about 2 weeks after it comes in the shops now. Whereas a few years ago I used to get them pre-launch. Funny, isn't it, when you... Oh, I don't know if assists are on, so... Well, there's clearly... Oh, it's automatic, so... Well, let's just do some automatic driving and see where we are. So we've got lots to learn on this game, viewers. Oh, and... oh, wow, it's different when you've been driving Gran Turismo to suddenly come onto this. So this is going to take a bit of practice. I'm going to get into Formula 1 again and gradually improve. I did that personal best a few weeks ago, but for people tuning in now who've never watched my channel before will be looking at my steering wheel thinking, look, he's got that steering wheel and he's using automatic gears and assists. Yes, I can drive it without the assists, but we're just mucking around here because PlayStation Network isn't working for some reason on Gran Turismo. So is anyone else having that problem? Goodness me, I'm so slow compared to the top guys, but I have looked at the sort of times that you need. And Patty says, if you want to send any digital codes, I'll happily take them. Alas, we're lucky if we get one. I mean, quite often we speak to publishers, and we're lucky if we get anything these days. It's I suppose because there's so many sort of big streamers and YouTubers now out there, and we're comparatively small, so there is that. So yeah, my pace is nowhere on this at the moment, but once I practice a bit, I'll improve my laps by a couple of seconds, and then I'll start to and then you'll start to see better and better pace on future videos. So you're going to see Formula 1 streams. I don't know why the car slowed there. There must be a setting stopping it from like a traction control thing, slowing it down. Frank's PS4 barely holding on, so long way off pace there. I mean, we've got to get like 3 seconds lap quicker before we're on turning assist off, but at least we're not terrible. This actually feels quite easy compared to Gran Turismo. There's a lot going on in Gran Turismo, it has to be said. I am using all the assists on here, I know, but the actual concept of it. Where Formula 1 is different is it's a real concentration test, isn't it? So when I do the career, I'm going to learn how to play this. I haven't played a Formula 1 game properly in a long time, so it'd be interesting to see where... Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. So let's look at preferences and turn off some assists then. What do we got here? Dynamic racing line. Let's turn those off. Off. Manual suggested gear. Okay, that's fine now. So now you may wonder why am I driving from TCAM on this game? This will take a bit of time now because I don't know the gears for the corner. That's why it's helpful just learning in automatic for a minute when you jump on a game. Oh, come on. Let's don't do this at home, kids. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's what happens when you turn off traction control. Suddenly you realise, oh, there's no traction. And I don't know what gear to be in. A good PS4 Pro deal. There aren't many of those around. So there you go. Just takes a moment to adjust. Nope, it's the wrong gear. Again, it's the hard thing here sometimes is learning whether I should be in third or fourth, or because when I used to play Formula 1 games, I had 6 gears. I haven't really played Formula 1 much since. I suppose I played a bit of F1 2014, and then that was it really. So I'll be putting a bit of time into this, and the reason why we're on this, if you're just joining, is simply because the servers are down on Gran Turismo. Don't know what gear to go through corners at all. Right, it's all a learning experience. That's the thing about streams. It's where I would do this behind closed doors and then learn how to drive it. On a stream, there's no... let's just be sensible now. It's going to take a long time to learn another game, isn't it? It's going to take a long time. But we will keep practicing and I haven't got the time right now. I wanted to, I've done all the practice today on Gran Turismo. Let's see if we can get back on it and do Gran Turismo. And then after that, I will see if GT is back. We'll have a little look. And then we'll see how we get on. James is off to work, and let's just see where we are. So yeah, Formula 1 it'll be interesting next year, won't it? Seeing how Kubica gets on, if he's got the speed he used to have. It's not to say it's impossible. I mean, he's the same guy. What's going to be interesting is his endurance factor, in terms of can he manage it? Oh, here we go. There was a long dark screen there, wasn't there? LTR 30. Any chance of open lobbies on GT Sport later? Not yet. I'm going to decide on setting up a gamer tag, and you know, that kind of thing. And then we will be sorted. We will be sorted. Fine. Don't need all that business. So let's try. It's got an interesting intro. Where's the that's what we do want. And a little bit of we want a bit of din. Right. So back into that, and then we can sort that in a moment. So let's see if it works. Because it's taken a bit longer and I missed that race now, it's a bit later than I was hoping it would be. But no good. No good. Well, so that's a no good then, viewers. I look forward to doing some races with viewers. I'm going to plan it all out at some point, and then we'll see how we're going to do it in terms of setting up a gamer tag and having sessions and stuff like that. It'd be good to race some of you guys online, get some other YouTubers in the room, and have some good races. Yeah, I haven't raced any manufacturers' races because for me it's pointless not knowing what cars you're supposed to use and stuff like that. I don't really understand it at all, so I don't know what's happening with PlayStation Network. A bit of practice on here, and then after this we'll call it a day on the stream. It's been quite a long stream, hasn't it? So quite a long one. So a bit of practice just to finish off. Hard tyres on Bathurst, lovely. Yes, good. Glad you got the nations done, Patty. It's that's all I'm focusing on at the moment. I was doing a bit of practice on this on Christmas Eve, and gradually learning the circuit. It's a circuit I've not driven in, a long time. Trying to use all the track there. Can't go wrong with a Porsche. No, the Porsches do seem to be pretty good. Missing my braking point. Lovely. Let's do a better lap this lap then. So what's my ratings now? I'm still B. I haven't done any races since last week. So you only... Oh, I was reading then and not... Right, let's put in a lap, shall we, and just see how we get on. Let's concentrate on this now. Do this. My rating's still B. It will be for some time. I could have got myself to an A last week if I just kept on racing, because my results were really solid on that Tokyo circuit constantly, but I just haven't got the time, you know, to put into it. Regret to see Billy or Gamer Muscle, Jimmy on the show, all the usual suspects. Yeah, it will be. I mean, at some point in the future, I'll see if I can put together a race with some other streamers. I did watch Gamer Muscle racing Jimmy on Assetto Corsa a few weeks ago. The race would likely be on Assetto Corsa because that's where Gamer Muscle hides. So, but if we could get any of the guys on Gran Turismo, that would be great. There's no reason why Jimmy and say Super GT couldn't get into a race there. Gradually learning the circuit. I mean, this was a circuit that I seriously, yeah, Patty, that would be a good race, wouldn't it? Be a good fun race. I would be watching. It would be interesting hearing, like, if you had the 4 streams open on your computer, and you could hear the various different conversations going on, because I can imagine. Still struggling to get 100% braking performance out of this, actually. I can imagine the different discussions, but myself and Gamer Muscle would be fueled by tea. So I was supposed to be racing this track, but as I can't race it because PlayStation Network is down, you can watch some time trialing. It's good practice for me, and it just means that we're here. A unit as well. Merry Christmas to you too. That's okay. It's always nice to say Merry Christmas to people over the Christmas, or the second day of Christmas. Completely unsighted through there. The ghost is right in my way. Oversteered. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Just to add to it. Looks like the daily races are working though. They're not for me, unfortunately. The daily races aren't working for me. I don't actually have enough time now to do another daily race. I'm going to sign off and get a bite to eat and relax for the evening. I've done my racing now. What have we had? 3 hours of racing action. So let's just put in a couple of laps here, just to, then the world will be right. No, got to brake harder there. Okay. I don't know which button R3 is on this steering wheel, so is it that? Is that? No. Ah, there it is. There's R3. Right. That's better. Now I can turn it on and off again. It's quite seamless, isn't it? I like that. This is a tricky course, isn't it, this Bathurst? It's a very tricky circuit. I'm always impressed with the way the V8 cars go around here, you know, flat out. Just the focus and the dedication and just brilliant driving from those guys. It really is amazing to see. And let's get this firm braking point done. So a bad start to the lap, but improved. So we're getting into a position now where we're ready to sort of race. So we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. We're not where we need to be, but we're improving all the time. And you can see here as well how much speed we lost just in that first sector before. Really trying to use more of the track. Let's see if we can get this braking point right. Still not where we need to be because we lost quite a bit of time on turn one still actually. So we're 8/10 off of where we need to be in terms of overall good times, but now we need a good final corner. Bit late on the power, that lost us time. 2:15, so it's going to be interesting, I think, doing this race online with people. So we'll do that tomorrow. I think that'll be it for now, viewers. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight and watching some of the racing. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bit of the chat, bit of the racing. Do let me know what games you'd like to see on the channel as ever. Come on the forum, say hello. I mean, it's pretty quiet on the Team VV forum. I'm always on there. So come on the forum at teamvv.com and say hello, because it'd be great to get some of you. If we're going to organise some kind of racing, it will likely be done on the forum where we can set everything up and discuss our racing and stuff like that. And like the video, subscribe to the channel. All of that supports what we do. So if you like what we do here, doing that is a big help, because we really could do with a bit more subscriber support. It's difficult when you have less than 100,000 subscribers getting anywhere, believe it or not, in YouTube these days. And it'd be nice for us, having been doing it a long time, to get on there. Wishbone is asking for some Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally, we're going to wait for Dirt Rally 2, because we're going to be all rallied out otherwise, and we want to save the rally for Dirt Rally 2. So we're enjoying a bit of this right now. I have to admit, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the rallying in Gran Turismo, not one bit. I just don't really feel the... No, that's not entirely true. I enjoy it as a fun pastime. I'm not very good at it, and I don't understand the car. And I want to play some non-racing games. So that's going to be on the Team VV Games channel, where I'm going to stream other stuff, FPS and other, other games and stuff like that. On this channel, there will be probably some Ace Combat 7 soon, as well, because I like Ace Combat, so I'm going to stream it. Because if I have to keep playing games I don't like, in some respects, I want to play some games I do like as well. Yeah, do a bit of that. But other than that, just I hope you've all had a great Christmas break, a couple of days over Christmas. I hope you've got nice presents. A Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you've had a good time and enjoy your gaming. I hope you've had some nice gifts and stuff like that. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. So that's it for me after a good session of driving. Really appreciate your tuning in, and there'll be more from me.